everyone. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the broadcast this morning. Excited to be here. I hope you have your cup of tea or alkaline coffee like I have here. And excited to talk to you today about what's important in life, because most often we're talking about things that aren't that important, striving and going after things that don't really matter. And I like to bring to you what does matter in this crazy, chaotic, wild world. All you have to do is turn on the news, which I don't encourage you to do. I want you to turn it off. Turn it off. Don't listen to the news and go to bed. And certainly don't wake up and look at the newspaper, because it can be discouraging. I'm not saying to live under a rock, although I think I live under a rock. I've been accused of living under a rock. But the truth is I want to guard what I'm putting into my brain and the fertile soil of my brain. I shared that story with you last week, I believe it was, where I was talking about it doesn't matter if a farmer puts two seeds in the fertile soil. One is green bean and the other is a poisonous plant. And takes care of them both. They're both going to produce. They're both going to come up, and it's going to produce what he sowed into the fertile soil. Your mind is a fertile soil, guys. We want to be careful what we're putting in. Good morning, Mike. Good morning. Let me see I don't know why it's lopsided. I'm sideways, but it's not changing. How do we do it? Change it? They can turn their phone sideways. No, let's fix it.
On the computer.
This is so crazy. All right, hold on. Mark's gonna. If you touch the things, you're gonna send me offline. Okay. Like you actually have it. Oh, the other way. Yeah, but you know what? Let me fix this so I'm not sideways. You gotta loosen it because if you touch these buttons too much, you're gonna turn me off. No. Just turn this. But what I'm saying is you had it grasped right there. All right, great, perfecto, although it's a little too high. Jeez, I got this much above my head. Hi, Jamie, you're home, yay. So now I need to sit on a box or lower that, one of the two. Good morning, woohoo, yay. I hope you're doing well. Mark's moving the things, so we're jittering a little bit, but he's helping me. He's actually helpful that he's here because I run around doing all the stuff he was running around doing. Good morning from Canada. I see you on, Jeremy. Good morning, Bob. Good morning, Meg. Absolutely perfect. Yeah, we switched it. I was a little lopsided there. Whoa. I don't know why it didn't adjust. But anyway, welcome to the call today. Great to see everybody here. And Mark, if you wouldn't mind just cracking this door or window, because it's about 400 degrees in here. It feels hot. It could be me. That's the famous thing that the kids are like, is it hot in here or is it me? And I don't know why the computer keeps messing up over there. Like, the kids were trying to print something out. I don't know. Oh, good, Jamie. I'm glad to hear that. Hi, Mary. Welcome to the call. Warming up good. Yeah, Illinois can be a little chilly like New York. Charleston. I love Charleston. Welcome from Charleston, Casey. Yay. Zanita, good morning from Tennessee. Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Polly. Yay, Jeremy in Canada. Good to have everybody here today. So fired up. Remember, we're going to watch what we're putting in our minds. That's what's so important, to be careful. Good morning, my sister in Texas, the other country over there. Josie's on the line. Good morning, Kathy. Good morning, Michelle. All right, let me go ahead and swipe these because they keep me focused on that, and I want to focus on all of you and bring you a message that I believe God has given me. And I recorded all day yesterday. I mean, all morning I recorded audio, and then I had to look good and was recording some video stuff. I don't know if you guys know it, but I'm on a podcast, and if you search podcast, you can find my name, Patty Cepeda. I don't think my maiden name's in there. And you can actually get the podcast that I'm doing. I'm actually speaking on a radio show in Wilmington. So we're doing two things at once. And of course, you can listen to those, if you're driving. A lot of people are liking podcasts these days. Last night I got a really awesome call, and I just felt the presence of God on it. Amazing, from my adopted daughter, if you will. Most of you know Audrey Moss McLeod now. She's gotten married, who is now she's like a millionaire with our company. She's doing amazing things. She's in her mid-20s, or actually she's almost reached that point, I think. I lose track of who's done it already and who hasn't. We're just helping so many people. And guys, it's so exciting. But with her, she called last night and I just was taking notes. I said, Audrey, I wish I recorded this. It was so amazing how she was saying, how she was reflecting on the time we spent together and how much I meant to her and how I've changed her life, and very few people have changed her life. The most inspiring. And she just went on, and I was like, oh my goodness, thank you. Because you can never hear it enough that you've impacted somebody's life. And I want to encourage, the reason I'm sharing this is because I want to encourage everyone, if people are impacting your life, tell them. Let them know, because what happens is that it encourages them, number one. Number two, it's like, even if you like somebody's shirt or shoes, so often we look at it and we like them, but we don't say anything. And I always say, go ahead, say it. These are little steps for people to get broken out of the shell, because sometimes we live in a shell. And I want to talk about that. And even just as I quoted, build your house on the rock. When you're on a solid foundation of something, you're not caring so much about what other people think of you. And I just feel like in the world of Facebook and social media and all of this stuff that's causing us to compare ourselves to other people, which you've always heard me say, comparison is from the pit of hell. It is so not cool, because what you're doing is you're taking what this beautiful person that you are, believe it, that's the key here, believe it, but you're taking yourself and you're comparing yourself to somebody who is portraying themselves on social media as whatever they want themselves portrayed as. And there's now, I don't know the name of it, I gotta look this up, but there's a depression going on based on people comparing themselves to other people on Facebook and social media platforms, and because you can't really measure up. My goodness, look at their life, this beautiful picket fence, 2 kids type family with just the happy marriage, like they don't ever have any problems. Well, I'm here to tell you, I got news for you. I don't care how rosy it looks. Everybody goes through situations where they have an argument with the spouse. It doesn't always look like that, like they're all happy-go-lucky and a charming day going on, and the kids are just these cute little kids that obey every word they say. Trust me, it's not that way. And so often we're comparing ourselves to these storylines that are going on Facebook and Twitter and all these other places, and you're just beware. I believe that we need to rise up and turn this stuff off sometimes. And guys, and parents, I want to speak to the parents just for a second. You're the parent. If you want the phones, take the phones. If you want the phones off, turn them off. I had a trip recently with a group of kids for a basketball tournament, and I took all their phones. And of course, they hemmed and hawed about it at first. But as we spent days together without phones that were put away, it was amazing, the response. Like, the kids were like, this is so nice to not have my phone. And what I have observed is that it was so nice to watch them interact instead of like constantly on the phone. No wonder people have neck problems, right? And back problems. They're constantly hunched over on these computers. I want to encourage you, set yourself free from that. Because what's happening is, it goes back to what they're doing is comparing themselves to everyone else. And there really is no need for that. Your life is amazing. You don't need to be watching a reality show. Although, because what's happening, if you watch a reality show, it's like, come on, you have your own amazing life. Even as a child, I would sit and I'd watch people that watched a lot of TV, and I was like, I don't like to watch TV. And I would say, I said, I'd rather go make my own life than to watch somebody, who's achieved their dreams and goals in life. Because that's what they've done. They've spent their hours and years of their life preparing to be on the TV. I call it the boob tube, because there's a lot of stuff on there that's just like, But there is good stuff. I'm not saying that. And I'm not saying that I won't watch a good show or a good movie. I'm not saying that. I just don't become obsessed or make it a habit. And I want to speak to that because sometimes people are making different things habits, like social media, like the TV. That these habits aren't necessarily empowering you. A lot of people tell me, especially with what I do in business, oh, I don't have time. You don't have time? Well, let's evaluate your day because we all have 24 hours in the day, and I get it. When it comes to time, it's like we have to be able to organize our time and spend a specific amount of time, maybe even have a stopwatch. I have a mentor, Kathy, who is one of the owners of our corporation, and she's amazing. And she told me in the very beginning, you gotta have, she's so funny, she gets all excited, you gotta have a timer. Or one of those little, what are they called? The little timer, like, with the sand. You cannot spend time with each person. You got to go through the people. You can't, because they'll consume your time telling you about all. And I'm thinking to myself, she's right. I got to have this timer. And it's not that, it's just, and of course I'm guilty. I don't really have the, she's listening. I don't really have the timer so well, but I do watch my time. And I'm very careful because I know that you can find yourself getting absorbed in the wrong thing. So let's talk about that. When I say build your house on the rock, let's talk about the rock. Let me put the reference right out of the Bible, because that's our rock. Mine and Herb. Our rock is the Bible. And there's a lot of people that don't have a rock to lean on. And when I say that, they're leaning on just what everybody's saying or posting or every whim, and they just have no solidity or strength in their own beliefs because they don't have a rock to lean on. And I want to encourage you that if everybody were to live by the rock of this book, the Bible, it's amazing. And what happens is many people will reject it. Like, people will hang up on my call right now because I talked about Jesus. Oh my gosh, I said the J-bomb. But the reality is if you understood the truth is what sets you free. And that's what caused me to be able to talk about politics or religion. I don't really have an attachment to it. And I don't have an attachment to the outcome. I do, in my heart, I want everybody to know the truth because I was in this dark hole for so long. Like, people that don't have Jesus are striving. I find them striving. They're trying to become one with the stream or one with the tree, or we're all good and there's every great way. And it's so free in a bad way because we thrive in boundaries. And what I was expressing before about our children is that when we have boundaries, forget about it. Kids like boundaries. They liked that I took their phones. These kids thrived in the fact there was a boundary of there's no phones while we're here at this tournament. And of course, if you were to take your kids' phones, you'll have your family back. Like, there's something about that. I know people that put a box by their door and everybody just puts their phone in the box as they walk in. I'm toying with that idea. But to take their phones at a certain time at night, or to not allow them at dinner. Like, there's certain things and if you don't have kids yet, guess what? Just pay attention. One day you might. And I want you to know that a lot of times when we speak in terms of maybe a situation that you're not in yet, you will get there. I think I hit that last time. I think it's important to realize that everyone has gone or is going through some of the stuff that you might think is you're singled out and doing on your own. You're not. Let me read the scripture so you know what I'm talking about when I talk in terms of the rock. It says, therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine, and this is all in red ink, which determines that Jesus actually is speaking all of this. This is Jesus himself as recorded by Matthew. And it says, therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine, because he's taught a lot in parables. And by the way, people came from miles around to hear him and would follow him. Everybody wanted to be around Jesus, except those that thought they knew it all. Therefore, whoever hears these sayings of mine and does them, I will liken him to a wise man who built his house on the rock, and the rain descended and the floods came. And the winds blew and beat on that house, and it did not fall, for it was founded on the rock. But everyone who hears these sayings of mine and does not do them will be like a foolish man who built his house on the sand. And the rain descended, the floods came, and the winds blew and beat on that house, and it fell. And great was its fall. And I'll tell you what, here's the thing. Building on sand is easy because it moves and shifts and you can kind of just make your way. And I think sometimes, because building on rock requires that you're bolted in, you're locked in. The sand is shifting, the sand is moving, the sand is easy to build. But look what happens when the storms come, and they will. The storms of life come. They come for all of us. But why is it that some stand strong and others fall? Why is it that some seem to follow every whim and wind of everything? And again, we're looking at a point in time when people are looking to hear what their tickling ears want to hear. They're actually they fell for it, right? They're falling for, there's a deception in the land causing people to kind of just go with whatever sounds good. And they're willing to, and again, it almost reminds me of this time we're in, like a teenager where you want to, as a parent, guard over them. And I'm not saying protect them to such a point where they're not going to see all these things, but certainly be the one that has the actual input into their lives. Because what you'll find in a teenager, and I have plenty of them going through teenage years and all of this and beyond, is that they can waver. If you're not careful in speaking life into them, they can waver to whatever else is going on out there. I'll give you an example. I had something going on and there was another kid in the school was posting things that were like, very controversial, very not worth being involved with, and was pulling one of my daughters into it. And what happened was I spoke life to her. I says, why are you getting involved with that? It doesn't bring